I bring in Salam Al-Janabi, spokesperson for UNICEF Afghanistan. He joins me this morning from Kabul. Good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. UNICEF has sent mobile health teams to the hardest hit areas. What are you hearing about the situation on the ground?
It is now with the numbers that we are seeing settling in how absolutely devastating the impacts of this earthquake has been. We're also hearing of 1,000 homes that have been lost. Maybe one good news coming from my colleagues in the field is that the roads that were closed yesterday and not accessible, today it's a little bit easier to access, which means UNICEF's and UN teams going in there to try and figure out what exactly happened and what is needed to have more access. And it also means our mobile health teams for first aid are more accessible. But as you're seeing in the images, the search and rescue operation by the local authorities is continuing. Hospitals, the UNICEF-supported hospital in Jalalabad nearby has received in the last 24 hours more than 550 people injured and being treated. And we also are now going slowly into our second night since the earthquake hit, and we keep thinking about all these children and families that are now without shelter.
So, in terms of the recovery effort and the immediate needs, what are they? Are we talking about shelter, just the basic shelter, food, water?
Indeed. So it's coming in waves. So first for UNICEF and the UN aid agencies is shelter is very important now. Well, that's what we've been hearing from the families. Mothers have been telling my colleagues out in Kunar and Jalalabad, clothes for children. People have lost everything in these earthquakes. So one of the other things that we're bringing in, for example, are winter clothes that we would give later in the year, but now that we're sending them out because children are without clothing. Also, thousands of tents and tarpaulin is going in for temporary shelters. You need now small, we call them family kits, and these are basically kitchen equipment, hygiene supplies, blankets, these things that you just need to create a little safe space in that tent that you'll be provided. But this is only the first wave of the assistance. The next one is going to be what's happening with the food and nutrition for the children, what's happening to the water and sanitation. Incredibly important because down the line, this can be difficult for diseases that might spread through water. And then schools, children who have lost parents and are now unaccompanied, so child protection issues. So the first immediate response is bring in shelter, food, medical assistance. That's being surged in, and then we start also looking into the other needs that need to happen.
Yeah, that are still to come. And so on that note, and this has to be my last question with you, is there some concern that the international support will not be there this time around? We've heard that the Taliban has made a plea for help, but will that be answered?
So for UN agencies, this year has been quite tough. There have been a lot of funding cuts, and some of our sister agencies are really finding it tough. The World Food Programme here has really suffered under these cuts. But now, the assistance hopefully will be surging. I mean, we can respond for the next week, for example, with these emergency needs. But I am sure that UN agencies, including UNICEF, will be appealing for the international community not to forget about Afghanistan's children. You mentioned how repeated these national disasters have been, and it's been heartbreaking being here for 4.5 years, seeing this repeatedly. So we will appeal for the generosity of the international community, that they don't forget about families and children in Afghanistan.
Salam, again, I thank you so much for your time with us and for all the incredible work that UNICEF does. We appreciate you joining us this morning from Kabul.